Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home. And who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And welcome into another episode of The Mom Game. I'm Emily Jones. She is Julie Dobbs. And speaking of Gateway, I just came from shooting car commercials.
Look at you.
4 Gateway Buick GMC car commercials. I shot them in a record time of less than 45 minutes.
Did you have any mess ups or no? You just killing the game.
I had a couple that I redid, but they write it out on this dry erase board for me and they put it under the camera.
Oh.
I mean, like it's
nice.
They make it really, really easy. So
Make it easy.
Yeah,
Nice.
So that's why I have makeup
Easy as
on.
1, 2.
It's easy as 1, 2,
3.
3. So that's why I have makeup on and I'm
Well, you look beautiful.
dressed. And I mean, I usually don't come naked, but
Yeah,
yes,
that'd be weird.
I'm dressed and have makeup on and my hair's fixed.
Okay, good. Well, speaking of Gateway Buick GMC, we have to discuss our launch party a little bit because it was
So
just
fun.
last week. They were the presenting sponsor of it. And I don't know. I feel like it went as well as it could have gone.
Well, you were nervous. You were nervous that not enough people were going to be there.
I was.
Yeah.
I panic invited random people that day.
Yeah. That morning you're like, do you have anybody else that wants to come? And I'm like, no, I think we're going to be okay.
Well, it was like, cancellations or whatever to be expected anytime you do anything, especially on a Wednesday at 5 in like the middle of downtown Dallas when not everybody even lives in Dallas. But I got like boom, 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 like 3 in a row that morning. And I was like, oh no. I was like, these are just the ones that are actually telling me they're not coming. And so I just had this vision of what if nobody shows up and it's me and Emily and I'm in my dumb party dress and my boots and no one's there. So it was like a little nightmare I had. So I just kind of started texting, extra people. But no, everybody, I don't know how many, like over 100, I think showed up.
For sure. I'd say probably about 125, 150.
Yeah, which was exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
Just so many awesome, fun friends and family. All so many of the guys from the ticket.
Yeah.
Ended up coming. Sweet Norm was even
my
there.
gosh. Norm.
There's so much we could talk about.
Norm and Mary. We have to get them on the show.
We do.
Norm and Mary. They're, in case you're unaware, Norm Hitchcock, who's a radio legend.
Hall of Famer.
Not just here, but everywhere. Let me tell you, Mary is smoking hot.
I know. The guys aren't building it up when they talk about how hot she is on the show.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know what? And another thing, and I love all the guys from the ticket, love them. They all freaking outkick their coverage. All of them. Like Mary Soroy.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, pretty much.
Kristen Kemp, Mike's girlfriend.
Yeah. I know. I know. It pays to be funny, I
guess so.
Have a winning personality.
I mean, because I was poor Mary Soroy. I was like, your skin is so pretty.
Were you just doting on her?
I think I invited myself to spend the night at her house.
Oh.
Yeah. I was
You really liked her.
I did. I was like, anyway, it's,
it
was fun. We had a blast. We had a good time. But I think your fears were, you have that. I think that starts at an early age, like for birthday parties and stuff like that. Like
I had that fear for birthday parties.
Yeah, I see it with Henry. Like when he invites someone and they can't come, and I'm like, but if they can't come, it's not because they don't like you. It's they have other commitments.
Yeah.
Or he gets his feelings hurt. Like same with Hattie. If their friends don't want to spend the night or they don't have they have other plans, and I'm like, this doesn't have anything to do with you.
It's just happens sometimes for everybody.
Right. But then you're like, oh, it'll get better when they get older. Yeah. And then here we are, grown-ass women.
Same thing.
Right. I will say I wasn't worried. I was not worried.
You weren't?
In this case. Because first of all, I was bringing a busload from Fort Worth. True. It was going to be fun.
Yeah.
But people love you. People
love you.
People tolerate me.
That is so not true.
But and I was so happy for you because I just thought it was so great, and you sang with the band, and you were so cute. And I just was really happy.
I can't believe I sang with Pat Green.
You did sing with Pat Green. And Pat Green maybe had the most fun of anyone there.
And he was kind of a night before we got confirmation he was coming.
Yep. So Corey texted me and said, we're going to be there. And Corey and Pat are great. And,
just so nice for them to drive all the way there.
It is. You kind of have those reflective moments that are like, especially when you think about this was your idea. You drug me into this.
I did.
But when you kind of have that chance, like this was my idea and it's happening and we've been pretty successful. Like it's been good. Like you get to have those moments where you're like, fuck yes.
F yes. Like I've never really had that moment.
And you had it.
I know.
You had it. And I was so happy for you.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of like emotional. I feel like I'm just proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, when I blabbed in that little speech, I'm just so glad that you said yes and came on board, and it's going better than we ever could have thought. And you bring so many different assets to doing something like this. The talking for us is the easy part, right?
Yeah.
Like the podcasting, the radio, the TV, we have experience in that. But when you start a business, there's a lot more. Mm-hmm. And so, that I feel like we're figuring out, and it's really fun. That's the challenge for me and for us, just growing as a team and as like a business and a company. And that's kind of what this party was. But something about having a party too, and it makes it tangible.
Yeah.
Like seeing the people and seeing people that actually came up to us and were like, oh my gosh, I listen every week. And, I listened to The Ticket, or I watched the Rangers, and that's how I knew about y'all. But to have something like this is awesome, because my husband always is listening to The Ticket, and it's, it's cool, but it's not really for me. It's not for a mom necessarily. But just hearing from those people, and they came in their Rangers shirts or their P1 garb, or they were so cute. And it was just awesome. Overwhelming. Awesome.
Yeah.
Overwhelming when everywhere you look, you're like, I need to talk to this person.
And then we're going to do more events. Like I've already heard from Fort Worth, people are like, why did you do it in Dallas? And I'm like, okay, we'll plan another event. Let us catch our breath. But we'll definitely do another event. So one last time, thank you to Gateway Buick GMC for being the presenting sponsor. PlaySource Dallas, who was a huge help to us, a big supporter. Mm-hmm. Erin England is fantastic, who's, doing all her great things with PlaySource Dallas. Check her out on Instagram.
Yep.
And then also to Noble Vines, Four Corners, Connie Rosso,
everything worked out great.
Everything was great, and we were so grateful for those people that said, we'll step up, we'll support this, we'll provide some alcohol, we'll provide the food, we'll do all that kind of stuff. So
and props to you for your event planning, and like I said, having the tables and the tablecloths, and then we got the flowers done by my neighbors on my street who did a wonderful job. But everything just came together beautifully.
Yeah, it did.
And if you haven't gone to our website, themomgamepod.com, just this week, we have posted a blog post. It's our second blog post, and it recaps the whole event. We've got about a 3-minute video of the event, all of our party pics. Shout out to Dave Newkirk, somebody who's been awesome in helping us kind of get all of these things together so we can show people more about what we are. He's doing the video clips and the movies and the pictures from the event. So it's all up on themomgamepod.com, the second blog post. If you haven't filled out your contact information at the bottom of the webpage, make sure you do, because you will become an MVP. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
A Mom Game MVP. And then you will get all of our updates via a newsletter. We won't beat you down with it. I think it'll be monthly or something. So the very first newsletter came out this week. It came out today, recapping the party. So we're trying to make this thing official.
So exciting. Very official. Okay. So we were riding high midweek last week. Mm-hmm. Weekend hits, so much fun stuff. Mm-hmm. You tweeted about a fox on a football field, and I was really worried.
You were.
We were going to have to break the fox on a football field down.
It was a little uneventful.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah.
So anyway, college football was bonkers.
So
fun. My Red Raiders stunk it up so bad.
Tell me about it. I didn't watch.
It's awful.
Who'd they play?
TCU, and that's the thing. We had friends over, and my husband's TCU. Obviously, went to school at TCU, so it's like. And the thing about it is like, if we're up by one touchdown, I'm like spiking the football and like telling him to suck it, and then he doesn't even. Like
that's a fun rivalry, though.
It is a fun rivalry, but like he doesn't even brag. I'm like, and they freaking housed
all
us.
of a
like
sudden,
whatever.
TCU is like,
and then and then he like doesn't even. I don't know.
Well, because there was a time that wouldn't be a given at all.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Have you ever like tried to trash talk with someone and
they don't care?
And they're just not like
they're not engaging you. They're like, yeah.
Right. But like if he would have done that to me and then we came back and ran up the score on him.
Yeah.
I would never let him hear the end of it. Like I'm a flawed person. Like this is.
Is he braggadocious about anything?
No, not really.
Because it sounds like football. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But it might just be your person.
It might just be your personality. It's just me. There are things that like he'll say and he says he's joking.
Yeah.
But I'm like, are you really joking?
Mine's pretty funny in my limited interactions.
He has a very dry sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like, and he's funny when you don't expect him to be.
Yeah.
Like he's sneaky funny.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you think he's like serious businessman.
Yes.
All that.
Yeah.
And then he'll come at you with some crazy shit, and you're like, where did this come from?
Well, I saw him at the party, and like the first thing he says is like deadpan. He's like, "When are you coming to spend the night at my house?" Because Emily and I are planning a TMG home invasion.
So awkward.
And of course I died laughing, but the way he delivered it was just like, he barely even said hi. It was just like, when you come into my house to spend the night.
That's so amazing.
I know. It was amazing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was funny. You got a good one. Yeah. I think our hubbies had fun.
They did.
They had a lot of fun.
I think they had a good time.
Yes. But that game sounds like it wasn't good for you.
It wasn't. It sucked, and it was not even entertaining.
Yeah,
we were so not good.
And then I went to Austin. My parents live in Austin, so Kelly was going to be out of town all day Saturday, and I've just learned like if he's gone, I sometimes would just rather drive there. It's 3 hours away, and then I have my friends and my family, and more hands and all of that. But my stepdad is like the biggest Aggie fan you could ever imagine. I'll tell you his Aggie secret. He's got Texas A&M carved in like one of his back teeth.
Stop.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know the full story. Why? I don't know.
Who carves stuff in their teeth?
My stepdad. I know. He's not as like Hoosier as it sounds. Like he's actually like, a very established engineer, but he is a hardcore Aggie. And this man, like a lot of Aggies, like they just live and die by their football team. They start to feel like, oh, poor Aggies. We never win the big game. And you think you're going to be good, and then you lose 2 games, and then you're out of the picture, and then you bring in Jimbo Fisher, and then you're still losing these 2 games, and blah, blah, blah. The Aggies beat Alabama, and I got to sit there with him and watch. And so that was so fun for me, just like watching him enjoy it. And he's someone that like goes to bed at 9 p.m. He was up after the game was over. He's like, oh, my night's just getting started. And so I felt like, I wanted to sit up there and celebrate with him. But that game was crazy. It's when you try to like take a step back from college football, I feel like it pulls you back in because it is so much fun. And my Mizzou Tigers aren't really doing anything. So it's easy for me to just be like, whatever.
Yeah, the Texas OU game was
insanity.
The
Texas OU game, just back and forth and back and forth.
And I was, I can't root for Texas. Like, it's just not possible for me. And it's not like I love rooting for OU, but I do have friends on that. So many friends on that staff. Yeah, like 5 guys. Like one of them, I was in his wedding.
Homies.
And so it was easy in that case for me to cheer for OU. And then I tweeted like, "Congrats to my dudes!" Oh, people came after me.
Why?
Well, first of all, I should be my alliance should be with Texas because I live in Texas. I'm from Texas.
Oh, wow! Okay.
So it's not even about like Texas Tech. It's just like you're a traitor because you said something nice about Oklahoma football program.
Because people were probably very butthurt if they were Longhorn fans.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I was butthurt later that night. So anyway,
whatever.
But it was such a fun Saturday.
It was,
and then Sunday. This is my first experience with an all-day baseball tournament, like one day for my kid, for Henry. So it's in the Colony, which is about an hour drive from Fort Worth. And so first game is at 10 a.m. So I leave the house at 9. Hattie and I leave separately because we're going to go. We usually at the end of every football or every baseball season, I try to do an excursion with them, like something like we did Great Wolf Lodge one year, like just something fun.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to book a room at the Anatole in Dallas because they have that water park there.
Yeah.
And so we'll just go Sunday after the tournament. Like, surely this thing's not going to last forever, right? So I booked the hotel and then thinking too, we'll still have the next day. We can get a late checkout. We'll still have that whole morning or whatever. So we get there. They win the first game. Then they win the second game. Then they win the third game. And then they played the fourth game, the championship game. And it's the time has run out because you play for 90 minutes and the score is tied.
Oh.
So we go to extra innings.
Oh, good.
And then we're in extra innings and the visiting team, which the opponent scored like 4 runs because they load the bases, 1 out. And then so they scored like 4 runs. So I'm like, okay, this thing's going to be, there's no way we're going to score 4 runs. So we get on the field. They load the bases, start with 1 out, and then the kid gets on, and then the lights go out.
Oh.
Like just dark.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the baseball, so it's like,
oh, no.
We've already been playing for 10 hours, basically. Emily. This is 8 p.m. And then the lights go out, and they can't figure out why the lights went out. Meanwhile, like literally 50 yards away, there's another field that's lights are perfectly shining bright. So anyway, they turn the lights. They turn the lights back on.
Electrical delay
after like 30 minutes, and then this poor kid, like first batter, like the game ends. They had a double play, like struck him out, whatever. Not the first batter. I think it was the second. Anyway, needless to say, I was like, and then Henry's kind of butthurt because he's like, we're not even gonna have time at the hotel. Blah blah. So we get to the hotel. So the water park it's not open.
Oh yeah, because it's October.
Well, but I'm thinking like, I don't know, if you're a hotel, don't you keep stuff open? No, you don't. So this is totally my fault. So the water park. So I'm telling the kids, but you were gonna have so much fun. Swimming, water park.
Oh, no, after the baseball game, it was probably all hot and sweaty.
Right. Well, I mean, it would have been closed by that time anyway because it was 8:30.
Oh.
So then I'm like, room service, whatever you want. So we get to the hotel. They're like, it's okay. They have an indoor pool. The kids actually had a really great attitude.
Okay, good.
Like, they were like, it's okay, Mom. Like, whatever. They were probably smart enough to realize that fucking thing wasn't going to be open anyway.
Well, when you mentioned it last week, I feel like I was kind of like, are you sure?
I don't know. Okay.
But I figured you had like confirmed.
Looked into it. Yeah, no. So then we're like, okay, room service. Where's the menu? So can't find the menu, like scanning what are they called? QR codes.
Yeah, those damn QR
So finally codes. I call down to in-room dining and it's like, no answer. So I call the front desk and I'm like, can you connect me to in-room dining? We don't have room service.
What?
No.
Did they blame that on COVID?
Total. What do you call it? Real world problems, third world problems. I mean, what kind of?
You say first world problems, not real world.
Not real world problems. Yeah, first world problems. So, but here's the problem: we don't have any food, and we haven't eaten since noon.
Oh,
and so everyone's starving. The kids are already.
Oh no!
And so I'm
no
like,
water park, no room service,
no room service. And I had been like, you can have ice cream, whatever you want.
That's really cool for kids.
Room
it's
service.
like Home Alone style. You just get to sit in bed and eat.
So then it's 8:45, 9 o'clock.
Oh no!
And I'm like, we're all starving. Everyone's disgusting, just all gross and dirty, whatever. So I favor some Italian restaurant that's close to the hotel. And then the favor gets there after a small detour because they sent her to some sort of manufacturing complex and not the Anatole.
Oh, no.
So she pulls up. So I get the food and I order everything. Like there were some homemade donuts and chocolate cake and a bunch of noodles and
just
chicken.
with some sugar.
Yes, get it all. So I go up to the room. I let the kids stay in the room by themselves. And I go back up to the room and I'm like, all right, let's dig in. And they got pasta and no silverware.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, when is this going to end?
You can't really eat pasta without a fork.
So I go.
Some things you could maybe survive.
And it's not like, so when there's no in-room dining, so I can't call them and ask them to bring it up. I sound like such a spoiled little brat right now.
But
anyway, so I go down there and I'm like, can I get some silverware? And they're like, oh yeah, across the Anatole, which this thing's like 45 acres or some shit like that. Like it's huge. So anyway, I go around and get some silverware, and I go up, and they actually had a really great attitude, but I felt like such a mom fail. Like we got up the next.
That's a layered mom fail.
So layered, and it just like the hits just kept coming. I was just like, all right, what do we got next? Like no silverware. What else? Like then there's that storm. I was just like, oh my gosh, this day.
Oh, was that the same night as the storm?
Yeah. But anyway, we got up the next morning. We went and had breakfast, and they swam in the indoor pool, and we kind of explored the Anatole, and it was fun. So anyway, that's my long mom fail story from the weekend.
Oh, love.
That's it. Yeah.
I feel like kids, though, anytime they're in a hotel, they think it's pretty cool. Even if everything is like a failure.
Yep.
Ryder still talks about when we stayed in a hotel for 2 nights during the freeze. Oh. Like he's like, when are we going to go back to the hotel? It's like we were literally displaced because we didn't have functioning air conditioning or whatever. No, heater, duh. The heater wasn't working, so our house was freezing. And all he remembers is getting to go to the hotel. So it's like the little things that kids remember.
It's definitely not the best planning on my part.
No.
So, yeah, but I'm excited to try that place out whenever it's actually open.
Yeah, there you go. It's fun. It's really, I've been there in the summer. It's really fun.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Brought the kids. So did you?
I missed it. The Cowboys game?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was keeping up with it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Sounds like they just.
The Cowboys, I don't know. It's like weird to even say it. And it still makes me, not like I'm that obsessed like I am the Stars to where I don't want to get ahead of myself. But the Cowboys are really good.
Yeah,
Emily.
They're good.
They're 4-1 now. So they played the Giants on Sunday, a game that they were supposed to win, but I feel like that's one that usually maybe they don't win. Like when they're supposed to beat somebody, a lot of times in the past they'd slip during that one, and then that's one that comes back to haunt them later on in the season, but they beat them 44-20.
Yeah, 44-20.
Dak Prescott looks amazing.
Yeah. I love him so much.
I love him too. Yeah, he's great.
It's hard not to like him.
Yeah. And I don't think that he's just full of it when he says that like the injury made him stronger, made him appreciate what he has.
Yeah.
Because it was actually Drew Brees I was listening to after the game talk about it, because now he's a commentator, Drew Brees is. And he's like, I had a moment where I was injured and I thought maybe I would never play football again. And then once he worked back from that injury and got in the game, it's like you look up into the sky and you're like, oh my God, I'm doing this. I didn't know if I was ever going to get to play football. And I think that's how Dak Prescott's looking at this season. Like everything is a blessing. Take advantage of every opportunity that you have and make the most of it. And he is. The offense is firing on all cylinders. There's just so many weapons. CeeDee Lamb looks great. Yeah. And then the defense is like above and beyond, I think, what anybody expected. Trayvon Diggs, I think 7 interceptions. I don't know.
6 or 7.
6 or 7. Yeah. Like he has a chance to set a league record for the most interceptions.
And he had like pink eye in both eyes. Like, what is that? I mean, I've had pink eye like once, and like there's like gunk coming out of your eye.
Oh, it's terrible.
Can't see.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know. And he's just got really good hands. Like I liked that story about how Nick Saban like switched him from wide receiver to cornerback at Alabama, and he was all bummed. And now it's like, and then apparently he's like hassling Dak to play wide receiver in practice. Like, dude is amazing. He's a ball hawk, and it's really good to see for the Cowboys. Micah Parsons all over. They still don't even have DeMarcus Lawrence. I keep forgetting. Like this defense can be better.
And the thing about a guy like Trayvon Diggs is you look around the league and the safeties, corners, whatever. It seems like so many of those guys that they're in positions maybe to intercept passes, but they don't have the hands.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
like
you don't have
how
the
many
hands,
times
you don't have the jump. Yeah.
How many times have you seen it where it's like, oh, it was off his hands, or oh, that's why he's not a receiver. That's what they always say. That's why he's not a receiver. But you get a guy like that who's got the instincts that he has and the hands that he has.
Oh, and you could see throughout the game, like there were 2 or 3 like near misses where he almost had multiple interceptions. You could tell that's what he's going for. It's like not only is he going to break up this play, but he's going to come down with the ball.
Well, and you can tell he's super smart.
Yes.
I mean, you can tell he is super, super smart.
Very smart. Yeah. Very likable.
Yeah.
So that's like a superstar emerging on the Cowboys defense, along with Micah Parsons, Dan Quinn. I don't know how he did it. He changed everything. I think the guys, they're all saying like it's just simpler. They're more aggressive. They're not all confused with what they're supposed to be doing.
I think it's because his nickname's DQ.
Yeah, it's pretty menacing.
It is.
But it's
Hunger Buster or something, a Belt Buster. What do they have at DQ?
I don't know.
Sorry,
Blizzards.
Digress.
Blizzards are my favorite thing at DQ, but it's exciting. Part of me is like, damn, like it'd be fun. A little bit more fun to be talking about the Cowboys on the ticket right now because last year it was just whatever. We talked
depressing.
About it. It was depressing, and you like had to do it every single Monday all day and then throughout the week too, and everyone had to have their big HSOs. But now it's fun.
Here's
and
the thing,
likable.
you just took the words right out of my mouth. It's a fun team.
Yes.
The football's fun to watch, and it's a likable group of dudes.
It is.
You know what I mean? It really is.
Yeah.
And I think that. I mean, and say what you want. I mean, I think McCarthy gets, the brunt end of a lot of criticism because there's really not anything else.
I think it's turning a little bit.
It is. Yeah. I think so too. I was with my father-in-law at the baseball game and keeping up with the score, and they were up by 18 or something. And I was like, I think this one's in the bag. And he was like, well, I mean, Mike McCarthy is the coach. And I was like, oh, here we go with the McCarthy criticism.
Big McCarthy
and Kellen Moore's the OC, so I think we're fine.
Yeah, exactly. And
which Kellen Moore,
I know,
dude. Like I love.
He looks like he's 12.
I know. But I love it when guys mix shit up. Like, and he's mixing it up. Like he's not afraid to be, not traditional NFL, whatever. Yeah. Like he's not afraid to be like, oh yeah, we ran this shit at Boise State. I'm going to bring it here and shove it up your ass.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, and him and Dak are a team.
Oh yeah.
Like they seem like they're more of a team than a lot of times when you have a quarterback and an offensive coordinator where the quarterback maybe doesn't feel like he can speak up or he can't tell him what he thinks he should do because he's a player and not a coach. But like you see them and they're strategizing together. They're fired up. Yeah. They played together. It's a good partnership. And I don't know, people talking about him becoming a head coach. I'm like, why does that always, just let us enjoy this.
I know. But
But you know what? If the Cowboys want to keep someone, they find a way.
This is true. He could be the head coach in waiting.
He could be the head coach in waiting. I don't think he looks like he can be a head coach yet. I don't think.
But have you looked around the league? Everybody's fucking young.
Everybody. I know.
Everybody's young.
It's crazy. But so they're fun to watch.
Yeah, they are fun. They are fun. Okay, one thing I want to talk about, which kind of will segue into our guest today. It's my 4-year anniversary with Scout and Cellar. And
happy anniversary.
Thank you. And so last night I was writing out a post or whatever to celebrate myself, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But I'm proud of what I've done.
You gotta hype your shit up, man.
Well, and here's the thing that I get frustrated with, and not just women, but people. I remember whenever I started, Scout and Cellar, or even I've had people say,
you did Posh Play. You've done a lot.
I've done a lot of stuff. Right.
You wrote children's books. Yeah.
Right. And then they'll say, oh, you have to work. Like what? No. I mean, I don't have to do anything. Whatever. But it's like and I feel like it's a lot with, and maybe there are women out there who that they don't want that.
Yeah, I think there are.
There are plenty.
Yeah.
And you know what?
That's fine.
Being a mom is effing hard.
Yep.
Being a full-time mom is definitely hard. But don't act like I'm some sort of I don't know that it's weird that I want
down
to work.
Upon somebody that wants to work.
Because does your husband not make enough money? Like, you have to work. Like, I mean, no. I mean, and first of all, it doesn't matter. But I'm motivated by what I want to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I said, when I was writing out this post, I was like, I want to contribute significantly to my family financially. I want to make a significant impact on my family financially. And I think I think that's hard for a lot of people to grasp, just because that's not a traditional thing.
No.
It's becoming way more traditional. It's becoming way more the norm. And I think that's fantastic. But it's I don't know. I just feel like I want to tell if you're a woman right now, not later, but just right now.
2021.
If you are a woman and you have that desire to, to do something beyond just being, I don't want to say just being a mom. That sounds terrible. But if you want to do something more,
yep.
Just period. Don't be afraid to do that. Like, and I feel like the last couple of years has taught me, like, I want to diversify. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
I want to diversify my income streams. I mean, I just, you never know what's going to happen. And so to have your hands in as many baskets as you can, whether it's a direct sales company or a podcast business, like whatever, don't
be afraid.
Don't be afraid. To do that. Don't be afraid to take a chance. The vast majority of things that I've done is because I've all of them. I thought they were opportunities. Some of them worked out, some of them didn't. But I made all those decisions because I want to significantly impact my family.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
And that's something I'm proud of. And it's something that I want to do. And so I guess I feel like maybe I'm being a little defensive, but I feel like there are times when I feel like I have to justify that. And maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just hypersensitive to it. And I've been on the wrong end of too many comments or whatever. You know what I mean?
This is what I'm finding though about everything and everybody in life. There's always a reason why people are making those comments.
For sure.
There's something they're fighting or struggling or dealing with. Like maybe they feel like they should be doing more and they're not. So it makes them feel better to come down on somebody that is. There's always a story, but I feel like you do a good job of letting it all roll off your back. But, I mean, how can you not be like proud of everything that you're doing? And you know what? I bet husbands appreciate it when their wives are ambitious like that and can take a little bit of that stress off.
Yes, some don't want any part of that.
Yep.
So I mean, here's the deal. It takes all kinds to make the world go round.
Yep.
And this place would be pretty damn boring if we were all the same and we all did the same stuff.
Yep.
And so I guess, maybe it's just me, like I said, being defensive, but I'm like, I'm doing this because I want to. I'm marketing wine because I want to. I'm doing this podcast because you made me and because I want to. And
I hold a gun to your head.
I know, honey, I'm just kidding. And I'm working for the Rangers because I want to. It's not because I feel like I have to. And I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, people have a hard time seeing situations outside their own. And for me, this is what this stuff is important to me, and it's what I want to do. And I also hope that if you've ever thought about doing something else, doing something different, doing something more, you should just try. Just try. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Shit doesn't work out. Like, it's
just
happened
try.
to me a million times.
There's lots of ways now where you can do it and you can work from home and you can make it work within your family.
And it may not even be about work. I just feel like that was on my mind today, and I just wanted to bring it up. And I feel like I had it way better articulated in my head.
No, you did great.
Whatever. But
you're doing great, sweetie.
I want you guys to be who and what you want to be.
Yep.
And so if
there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
we can make it happen. And maybe it's just playing tennis or something like that. Like,
yes, it doesn't have to be like go join whatever.
That's where I was. I got to a point. I was like, I'm just giving too much time to this place that's not giving enough back. Mm-hmm. I'm not playing tennis. I'm not exercising. I'm not like even taking care of myself. My kids are things are falling by the wayside. My career, is this really where I want it to go? And you just make it happen. And it's awesome. There's a way. So hopefully, if anything else, people can take that away from this conversation.
So rant over, and that is the perfect segue to our guest today.
Yes, but first,
wait. Yes.
But first, this goes, it all goes hand in hand. I love that. Because a lot of things that we talk about, a lot of our sponsors go hand in hand with what our whole purpose here of this show is. One of the things we're trying to do to build up our business too, by the way, we're getting the Mom Game up on YouTube. So that's in the process of happening. So you'll have another way to watch and follow our show. There's about to be a little clip released this weekend where it's from episode 1, Emily, where I retell the story about breast cancer and my whole journey. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In October, it's the month that I was diagnosed, I guess 7-8 years ago. Now, and one of our sponsors is a group that really helped me along through my journey, and that's why this one is very important to me. We're so glad to have Baylor Scott & White back on board, and they are doing a special initiative this month in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's It's called How Well Do You Know Your Lemons?
Oh, what are they talking about when
what
they
do
say
you
lemons?
think they could be talking
I wore
about?
This shirt
it is,
just because
it does look
talking about lemons.
and it accentuates
Whoa.
your lemons. Wow. Because of the color.
Thank you for noticing.
They're encouraging you to know your lemons better. Every year, more than 1 million people are diagnosed with cancer. We know the impact that a cancer diagnosis can have on your entire family. We're here to walk you through the journey by ensuring that you have all of the proper screenings through to survivorship, which is very important. A lot of times it's just a matter of knowing what is happening with your body. And that's about you taking the initiative to go in and get screened, catch something before, it's too late. Heaven forbid. If you're faced with a cancer diagnosis, our comprehensive cancer care services and team of oncologists on our medical staff at Baylor Scott & White, Fort Worth's Joan Katz Cancer Resource Center can give you all of the tools that you need to fight back. The Joan Katz Cancer Resource Center provides support to men and women who have been diagnosed with cancer, regardless of where they're receiving their treatment. So that's very important. They will help you out no matter where you're getting your treatment or your direct medical services at no cost for most services. There's a lot that goes hand in hand with a cancer diagnosis, and a lot of it is mental and just in needing to talk to somebody or making sure. I mean, I had a big old freaking binder. Like, I had friends that helped me keep track of things. We all know I'm not the most organized. There's a lot of stuff. Like, there's bills. There's appointments. It's a lot. Plus, you're like essentially fighting for your life. So people like Baylor and the Joan Katz Cancer Resource Center are very important for that journey. The center offers survivorship programs, education, support, and resources to help patients survive and thrive in their cancer journey. For more information, to connect with a cancer navigator or find out more about your lemons, contact the Joan Katz Cancer Resource Center at 817-922-2223 or bswhealth.com/themomgame.
Oh, we have our own URL.
How about that?
So fancy.
Yes.
Go check out the URL. Just because we're a part of that.
I
feel like that makes us so official with Baylor Scott & White.
Well, Baylor Scott & White is the official medical advisor of the Mom Game. That's our other little announcement. Yeah. So we're excited to work with them down the road. Anytime we have a question about anything medical, we're going to go to them. Yeah. And we're even going to have a couple of their doctors on down the road, and all of those questions that you're wondering. If you guys are wondering, ask the doctor this when they're on, whatever. We have them now. They're a resource for us. So we're so excited about the partnership with Baylor Scott & White. Here's to another week of momming.
I know. Well, this, like I said, we were talking career-wise earlier. Just how you still, like, regardless of your age, regardless of your phase in life, you still can, improve yourself, change your situation, do more. If you want to do more, if you're totally chill where you are, kick ass.
If you figured it out,
right?
F yeah.
But that brings us to our guest today, who's going to talk to us a little bit about continuing that journey professionally and how he can help.
Okay, so if you watched last week's edition of the Mom Game, you heard us introduce one of our new sponsors here on the show, Midwestern State University in Flower Mound. Today we have the director at MSU Flower Mound, Randy Cannavale, joining us here on set to just talk a little bit about MSU Flower Mound and what people need to know. When you hear that, MSU Flower Mound, what are the most important things that you want them to know?
First of all, can I say it's an honor to be
We're so stoked you're here. You've been so sweet. And the support you've given us, we're super thankful.
Well, thank y'all so much. So we're your first university partner.
Absolutely.
Right?
You really
so
are.
this is exciting. So Midwest,
we had to tell UT, we had to tell Baylor, we told the Aggies no. We said we are holding out for MSU
we're
Flower
local,
Mound.
hyper local, right?
Exactly.
But with that being local, so we target mostly adult learners. So our main campus is in Wichita Falls, traditional students, but our Flower Mound extension is geared for people like us that want to go back to school. Maybe you started a bachelor's and didn't finish. Maybe you just want to get an edge in your career, kind of gainful employment. So Midwestern State University in Flower Mound is geared towards adult learners. All the programs are online. We mostly target nursing, respiratory care, teacher education. So those high demand occupational areas are where we're trying to get our students, and we're doing well with it so far.
Have you seen an uptick since the pandemic?
Yes, since we're mostly online, nothing was interrupted. Enrollment continues to grow. And I think it's just because we're here in the Metroplex, we're in a population center, that we need more nurses, we need more allied healthcare, we need more teachers. People need master's degrees. And so I think we're in a great place. And so fortunately, the pandemic did not affect us too much compared to, other universities. Yeah.
So is it mostly for people that you're seeing that have an undergrad degree somewhere, they started a career and then maybe for whatever reason, family life, maybe they want more money, like you said, it's not working out, then they come find you? What is their education experience like before they get to you?
That's a great question, Julie. So most of them will be community college transfer students. So they have 2 years. They want to get the next 2 years to get that bachelor's, or maybe life got in the way and they didn't finish that bachelor's, and they want to come back and complete it. So we're looking at those that have some college, but no bachelor's.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
For you guys, the online versus in person, how does that break down? And do you see people utilizing, since we are now coming out of the pandemic, fingers crossed, are you seeing people utilize the in-person or the on-campus learning?
I think it's both. I think the on-campus learning is going to continue to grow because the pandemic forced that kind of innovation. So again, our enrollment continues to see some positive growth, and it's basically going to school when it's best for you. I mean, think about if the three of us had to go back to school, we don't have time to sit in a classroom for 3 or 4 hours. We just don't.
Terrible.
Right? Yeah.
It does sound awful.
Sounds like nap time.
Yeah.
So going to school in your pajamas, going when it's convenient for you, maybe it's on your lunch hour. That's what's great about online education. At Midwestern State, we've been there. We've been in that market or in that space for a while.
And you do have a campus in Flower Mound that I came out and saw you at it. And I was so impressed. I mean, it's really cute. It's right there in the middle of a bunch of like fun shops and restaurants. So how do people utilize that campus?
So some people really need that in-person service, need that face-to-face contact, and that's what we're there for. Also, we use that building for our main campus as kind of like a portal. But if you need to talk to somebody in person, that's what that campus is for. And although our programs are online, professors like to hold, one-off meetings. If you really need to connect with the professor, your classmates, we have that building for that too. So it's really we're an online program, but we have that in-person touch if you need that.
So if someone's listening right now and they're like, okay, I'm not in love with the job that I have. I wish I would have gotten that degree. What's the best? But when you think about it, and regardless of what age, like that's an overwhelming thought, like going back to college
it is.
or maybe even for those, rare cases starting for the first time, it's just such an overwhelming experience. So what would you tell somebody like, okay, this is where you start. This is what to do.
Whether you choose Midwestern State or any institution and you're going back after a layoff, I would definitely connect with somebody on the campus that can kind of guide you. So maybe it's a student services advisor or some kind of advisor that can really walk you through the steps. I would be happy to be that person for Midwestern State University, but find that person you can connect with, because if you've been out for 5-10 years, it can be scary to come back, like you said, and you just don't know the process. And for adult learners, with so many things we're juggling, we need that concierge kind of service. And at Midwestern State, that's what we do. So make sure you can find somebody to connect with.
Yeah. And hopefully people that are listening now, this is something that maybe they didn't know even was possible, didn't know existed.
Right.
But now because they're listening to the show, they know about you, they know about MSU Flower Mound, and that it's something that's completely doable to fit into your life however you need it to.
Yeah. The fit into life's the big piece. How can I go back to school and not interrupt the rest of my life? That's the beauty of online education. And it's only getting better. There's always a stigma about online education. It's not as good as in person. I would argue, of course I'm biased, but I'm also an online student myself doing my doctorate online.
Oh, cool.
Oh, hey now.
So, so it's
in what? What is it?
Higher education administration.
Okay.
Yeah. A little bit of educational research there as a minor, but it can be done.
It can be done.
And I love my online program because it doesn't interfere. I can go to school on my lunch hour if I'm in between meetings.
Yeah, and we
pop it up on my phone.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time with a lot of our sponsors that have really moved toward that. The convenience aspect, the life balance that you have to have, and the fact that you don't have to be necessarily in a certain space to get done what you need to get done.
No, and if you're that kind of learner where you're more visual or audio. online's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you can absorb it, consume it anytime. Much like this wonderful podcast.
Yeah. Well, lots of career education talk today on the show. We're so grateful for your partnership. We're grateful that you're here. We're going to end the thing just like we do every week, and we're going to let you know.
Do you know what we do at the end of our show?
You think I should know?
Here's a hint.
Here's a hint. We got to throw up the peace sign.
Okay.
You look into your camera. You're right
we
there.
put you on the spot.
That's
right
okay.
Here, and then mom game out. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Mom game out.